আসছে। Good late evening, friends. Now I will talk on the subject why the Islamists, the Islamic fundamentalists, and the Christian evangelists, and Indian secularists, Congus and Marxists, are very allergic to the word Hindu. Mahakal has told they are very allergic to this word, very afraid of this word. Today I will discuss, I discussed this in Bengali 2 days back, and there is a complaint that it was not audible to you. Today I am telling not exactly the English translation of what I told 2 days back, but maybe some other angles. First I will tell on how they are allergic to this word Hindu. Then I'll quote some sentences from lips of the Mahakal, from the book Mahakal Kothon. Mahakal Kothon in Bengali, I will try to translate it. I am waiting some of my friends, my junior friends, so they can translate it into English. But today I will myself try translating some of the sentences, Mahakal Kothon, from the lips of Mahakal. Yes, they are very allergic. Think of the days of the excavation of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. Shana, it was by some Indians like Rakhal Das Bandopadhyay and under the command of some Britishers like Cunningham and all these things. And initially, they thought that in West Punjab, the huge heaps of the bricks, the burnt bricks, red bricks, will be useful, will be available there, will be collected and will be used for train lines, rail lines in West India, in Punjab area. But when the excavation proceeded, it was found that these are the destructions of the very old civilization. And this civilization, the age of the civilization, they are much older than any European civilization. And they got frightened. It was early days of the last century. They got frightened. And they found that if the Harappa and Mohenjo-daro is excavated to a large extent, the proofs will come, archaeological proofs will come, that civilization of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro in western part of Punjab, along the dead flow of the Sindh, Sindhu, is much older than any of the European civilizations. And that will damage their dignity, their prestige. Where they are telling that the Europe is superior in their knowledge and wisdom and older in civilization. They has educated all over the countries all over the world and educated India. They educated India. This pride, that prestige will be destroyed. And their theory, that Aryan invasion theory, which their paid historians propagated, that 1500 BC, some Aryan tribes, some nomadic people, invaded India and educated India and created the civilizations of India. That will be pulverized, destroyed. And they stopped all excavation further. And they made an FIR, criminal case against the Rakhaldas Bandyopadhyay, alleging that he has stolen some archival materials. And Rakhaldas has to resign. He was not given even the pension. In that way, they stopped excavation and tried to cover the history of our ancient civilizations. And so it also here in Eastern India, the Asiatic society initially, they were trying excavations of things and writing history on our very old documents. They stopped it because if they go further and publications continue, then that will be established that Indian civilizations, its science and technology, its surgery and medicine, its physics, chemistry, mathematics, biology, applied psychology, cosmology, Ayurveda, surgery and medicine, everything is much superior to, was much superior to what the Europeans had that time. And it will be further established that these Indian civilizations, its ports, naval ports, were communicating to the Far East Asia, up to Indonesia, and here on the west, the African countries, and to the Middle America, connecting to the Middle American civilizations, Maya, Inca civilizations, and communicating to the Egyptian civilizations, Babylonian civilizations. And it will be further established that the idol worshipping, which was prevalent in India, was present all over the world. The idol worshipping, Murti Puja, was in Egyptian civilizations, in Greek civilizations, in Roman civilizations, in Babylonian civilizations, in Maya Inca civilizations. That means all over the world, it was the Bharatian civilizations, the Sanatan civilizations, or Sanatan Bharatvarsha. It was present. It was dominant. And it was India which was the source of knowledge and wisdom to the West Asia, from where it went to the European countries, it went to the Africa, it went to the Far East Asia, up to Indonesia, and through mainland of India, Central Asia, to China, to Mongolia, to crossing Korea up to Japan in naval route. That will be established. They got afraid. They stopped research and stopped excavation of the ancient areas. If you go to Dwarka, you'll see excavations are still now going on. You'll see there the aging of the Dwarka civilizations of the era of Mahabharata, the Krishna, the king, the capital of Krishna, Lord Krishna. It is 7.5 thousand years old. If you go from Dwarka to Bhet Dwarka on a boat, you will see destructions stones, bricks under the sea. The Arabian Sea is not very deep. You can see in your own eyes. And today, many countries, including Indian submarines, has surveyed an area, a vast area of a destroyed city, submerged city. Maybe that submersion is by some massive earthquakes, some calamities. And today in many parts of the India, there are excavations proving that the mentioned cities of the Mahabharata, of the Ramayana, proved to be the cities buried under the earth. And its best example is the excavation of the Ram temple area. Initially, the communist scholars appealed to the Allahabad High Court that we need not go for excavation. Let this land go to the Muslims, brothers. Even after the Allahabad High Court, in banking on and guided by the old texts of Bharatvarsha, they ordered excavations, and we have found the broken materials of very old ancient temples therein. That proves that we had a very living, very vast civilizations. And today's what we call the Harappa and Mohenjo-daro civilizations is actually a part of the Saraswati Hindu civilizations, which is spreading from this side, the western UP, and on the west side up to Iran, this vast area. And when the parts of the Saraswati, Sindhu dried, that civilization shifted on the part civilizations, it shifted towards the east, towards the Jamuna basin and the Ganga basin, and to the west to the Iran side. The civilization migrates, shifts in that way. And Mahakal has told many times that the Islamists, whose geographical place in the West India, and the Christian evangelists who are in Europe, they are very afraid of this term Hindu, because the more you utter the Hindu, actually it denotes Sanatana Bharatvarsha. The more you mention it, more you mention the civilizations related to this world. It is ancient civilizations, its wisdom, knowledge, its arts and sciences, all these things related to the ancient Bharatvarsha. And if that comes, the dignity, the pride of the West Europe will go down, and the pride of the Islamic world will go down. They will not be in a position to tell that they do not owe to India for their civilizations, and for their to keep this real history buried under the soil. They are very allergic to this term Hindu. They are very much afraid. Anytime this truth will come up and destroy their pride, their false pride. They want to bury all these things. And as the INDI.SIKU.MARKU Congus in India are basically the agents of the Islamic world and the Christian world, they want to propagate still now the Aryan invasion theory. They are very allergic also to this term Hindu. And this is a peculiar country, the secular India, where you can form a party in the name of Islam, Muslim party, Islamic party, a Muslim League, exists in Pakistan even after partition for last 70 years. Even you can form a Christian party which exists in Kerala even for last 70 years after partition. But you cannot form any party in the name of Hindu, in the name of Sanatana Dharma. You can demand anything in the name of Islam, in the name of Christian. And our temples are taxed. The government collect tax from the temples, Hindu temples. But never any tax, not a single paisa, from any mosque, any church. Even the churches in India, which are geographically in India, are controlled by the extraterritorial authority which stands in Vatican. It is a control from the by the outer hands. This is the indirect rule of the Vatican through the churches here in India. And also mosques. They are controlled by the Makkah and Medina. This is also an indirect rule of the Makkah, Medina, the Muslim world, on our land. Never any church and mosque is taxed. But our Hindu temples' property are taken away by the government, being used for these religious groups, and property even being sold by the governments. Hindu land, the temple lands, the Devotta property are being taken by the government and being sold even. And the lands are being forcefully occupied by the religious groups of the Muslims and Christians. This is the fate of India here. In India, we the Hindus are second-class citizens. That is the pain, that is the words from the lips of Mother. You the Hindus, you are second-class citizens. You are Hindu dogs. You have no dignity in this country. No dignity of the country. I will read some of the sentences from this, from his, and I will read from Mahakal Kathan. Before that, I will tell only a few words why our scholars, Hindu scholars, are secular, are proud to declare themselves secular. Secular. Why? What is the benefit of being secular? Because there is an economic gain, a social gain, monetary gain in becoming a secular. A secular, the qualities are, they will always tell that the Hindu word is a very bad word. Hindu literature is very bad literatures. Hindus are uncivilized. India, Bharat has no ancient history. Bharat has had no civilizations. British has civilized them. Before that, the Mughals have civilized them. These are the words of the INDI.SIKU.MARKU.CONGUS. Because by telling that the Hindus is a bad word, has no civilizations, by telling all these things, these scholars, so-called scholars, get a place in the Christian world. There are 150 Christian countries, 50 Muslim countries, and these scholars go there, invited there to give lectures, get services in their academic institutions, and the more they hate this word Hindu and Hindu literatures and civilizations, the more they get the promotion, they get money from there. But if they praise the Hindu civilizations, if they sing the song of the Hindu civilizations, they will not get the promotions, because the Muslim fundamentalists and the Christian evangelists, fundamentalists, will not like those scholars of India who will give them the tale on the real history of the Hindu civilizations. This is the real reason why Indian scholars, the Hindu scholars, are so much fond of declaring themselves as secular, because that brings them money, their positions, and they are so notorious, so selfish, they do not hesitate to hate, to speak that they hate the word Hindu. That's the reason. Because that brings them money. Now I will read some of the lines from Mahakal Kathan. Let me read. Page 49 of Mahakal Kathan, first volume. Max Muller. I'll translate few lines. তিনি সনাতন হিন্দু ধর্মের গোড়া থেকে জানবার জন্য ওদেশে 30 বছর থাকাকালীন বেদ পড়েছিলেন। সারা জীবন রিসার্চ করেন। তিনি প্রমাণ করেন হিন্দু ধর্ম শুরু হয় নর্থ পোল থেকে। ঋগ্বেদে যে সকল গাছপালা ইত্যাদি ডেসক্রিপশনস আছে সেসব গাছপালার ফসিল নর্থ পোলে পাওয়া গেছে। ম্যাক্স মুলার বলেছেন ঋগ্বেদের বয়স 12,000 বছর, 12,000 BC, 14,000 বছর। তিলক বলেছেন 6,000 বছর। তিনি যখন জেলে বসে লিখেছেন। বর্তমানে ওয়েস্টার্নরা বলছেন এর বয়স 1 লক্ষ বছরও হতে পারে। অ্যাকচুয়ালি বেদ একটি, সমস্ত সূত্র, সংহিতা, কর্মকাণ্ড, জ্ঞানকাণ্ড একটা থাকার পরে 3 ভাগে ভাগ করে নেওয়া হয়েছে। সায়েন্টিস্ট এবং আর্কিওলজিস্টরা প্রমাণ করেছেন গন্ডোয়ানা ল্যান্ড ইকুয়াল টু এশিয়া, আফ্রিকা, ইউরোপ, সাউথ আমেরিকা সব নিয়ে গন্ডোয়ানা ল্যান্ড ছিল। প্রলয়, মহাপ্রলয়, মিলিয়নস অফ ইয়ার্স পূর্বে কাঁপুনির ফলে, আর্থ কাঁপুনির ফলে ইন্ডিয়ান ওশেন, মেডিটেরিয়ান এই সমস্ত তৈরি হয়েছে। অনেক কথা আছে, জাস্ট আই এম ট্রাইং টু ট্রান্সলেট ফিউ লাইন্স। ম্যাক্স মুলার হ্যাভ রিসার্চ ওয়ার্ক on the Hindu literatures. He wanted to know the root of these Hindu literatures. He was there for 30 years, and in his research through all over his life, his research of his results was that Hindu religion originated from North Pole. In Rigved, there are descriptions of many plantations, which are medical plantations, and the fossils of these plantations are now available in North. Max Muller initially, while he was writing on Rigved, told that the age of this text is 12,000 BC. And Tilak, while he was in prison, he was writing on Vedas. He wrote that the age is 6,000 years BC. And today, many Western scholars are telling that the age of this Vedas may be more than 1 lakh years. Then, and there are many sentences, Hindus. And then I'll Jagadguru Shankaracharya. Now the page is 74. Date of his words from his lips is 25th November 1966. Jagadguru Shankaracharyer গ্রেপ্তার 1/5 লোককে খুশি করার জন্য, আর 4/5 লোকের ধর্মের উপর জুতো দিয়ে মারানো হচ্ছে। শুকনো গরু লাইফ টাইমে যা দেয় সে যা খায় তার কয়েক গুণ বেশি দিচ্ছে। এর ইকোনমি আমি জানি। এক সুরে যদি লোক বলে দেয় যে একটা ভোট দেব না, 24 ঘন্টায় গোহত্যা নিষিদ্ধ, বিল হয়ে যায়। ডাক্তার ফরিদি খোলাখুলি বলেছেন। এবার এই জায়গাটা বলছি, the Shankaracharya was arrested to please 20% of the people of this Bharat, and to crush the religion of the 80% population of this country. Even a very sick cow is economically very good for the people, because whatever they eat, in return it gives much more. I want the cow slaughter ban, and this will be one day. If this 80% people shout for this cow slaughter ban, this will be a law in one day. Then another sentence. Ahmadiyya সম্প্রদায়ের যিনি হেড, তিনি 12 কোটি টাকা পাকিস্তানে লাগিয়েছেন, তার কোনো ব্যবস্থা হচ্ছে না। A Muslim religious leader has clearly declared that he has invested 12 crores of rupees in Pakistan and residing in India. And you see, the Indian government has not taken any action against him. নাখোদা মসজিদের হেড মোল্লা, তিনি প্রকাশ্য হয়ে বলেছেন, আমি একা 40,000 হিন্দুকে মুসলমান করেছি, তাকে অ্যারেস্ট করা হলো না। The very mullah, the head mullah of the Nakhoda Masjid has loudly told that openly that he has converted 40,000 Hindus into Islam. But you see, your government has not arrested him. Jagadguru Shankaracharya, যিনি পোপের থেকে উঁচু, the Jagadguru Shankaracharya, which in a higher place than Pope of Vatican, was arrested when he was performing home yogya, and on that day 300 persons was killed in Delhi when they were demanding a ban on cow slaughter. But officially the government told that only 8 persons has been killed, and this whole thing could have been avoided. This was a politically designed conspiracy. In that, and you see one thing that, and you, the Hindu people in India, you are unwanted dogs. 19 বছর ধরে হিন্দুস্তানে হিন্দুরাই হলো unwanted dogs, আর সকলেই পেট। You, the Hindus, here in the eyes of the government, you are unwanted dogs, you the Hindus. But others are pet. Others are pet. But you, for last 19 years, you are Hindu dogs. You are unwanted dogs. Fundamental truth tomra bojo na. You, the Hindus, do not know the fundamental truth. Are in these political parties, secular parties in India, you have no place. Your demand, your desires, aspirations has no place. And you, the Hindus in India, are non-entity. Hindus in Hindustan, you are unwanted dogs. একথা বলবারও কেউ নেই। সনাতন হিন্দু ধর্ম in danger, একথা বলারও কারো সাহস নেই। You, the Hindus in Hindustan, you are unwanted dogs, and there is no Hindu who has got the courage to speak it out loudly. Sanatana Hindu Dharma in danger. Even there is no one to speak out loudly this. These are the sentences from very painful mind. Mahakal is uttering all these things. And in this book, if you read, there are many things, how the human civilizations is migrated from one place to other, how the Sanatana Dharma has migrated from one place to the other, how it enriched whole world in different civilizations, how all the civilizations all over the world, I have told you, are connected to India and in many ways enriched by Sanatana Bharatvarsha. All the ancient civilizations are idol worshipping civilizations. In many places of the world, they are called pagan civilizations. All are idol worshipping, and all these idols are nothing but the icons presenting different forces, different ideas, and an idea cannot be expressed, truth cannot be expressed by one icon, one model. That's why many models, many godheads are there. Basically, all ancient civilizations all over the world was nature worshippers, idol worshippers. You see, atomic scientists will give you many models of the atoms, because a single atom model cannot explain the mystery of the atom, the truth of the atom. That's why the truths of nature its energy, its matter cannot be expressed in one model. That's why there is needed many models. Thank you. Good night. How much time? How much time? Okay. Let me stop. Shana, Konkona, maybe no other question, no other person is there. Thank you. Good night.